Okay, so you might notice that there really is no ambient light with this because I'm driving my car and it's 11:30 at night, so we'll get some occasional flashes from streetlights. Alright, so Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. I liked it. Tonally, it does kind of go all over the place. There are moments where it's kind of heartfelt every now and then. Then there are definitely moments where it is, I would say, jump scary. I wouldn't really call it scary. And some moments of a pretty nice comedy. And some moments of heart. I will say the little Stay Puffs were both adorable. And when they had issues, you know, it was kind of neat there. The guy who was, I'll just call him Finger Bang from the Eternals, you know, he was pretty solid in this one as, you know, the random character who's like, wait, I factor into this story much bigger than you think? Yes. Oh, okay. So, what's going on? Well, there is, I'll just say, Frost Demon God, who is trapped inside a small orb. I mean, these are things that they show enough of in the trailer, so I'm not really giving anything away. And of course, like all Ghostbuster movies, when they find out, like, hey, there's this thing that's got a really powerful spirit in it, of course, that spirit has to get released, otherwise the movie doesn't happen. But there's some very easy to follow foreshadowing where you're like, oh, I think I know where this is going. You know, and I thought, you know, some of the jokes landed pretty well. Much like in Afterlife, there's a lot of callbacks. There's a ton of callbacks in this one. But I like how they're trying very hard to both balance roughly a 40-year-old IP with, you know, trying to keep it fresh and exciting for people who haven't watched the previous movies or didn't grow up when it was like, hey, Ghostbusters was a show that they would put the movie on ABC in like prime time. You know, it had cartoons, it had a bunch of merchandise for it. So, from that aspect, I think they did a pretty good job trying to make it enough where it's like, hey, if you saw the first one, you're probably in your 40s. You probably have kids that are late teens. Or people who are in the early 20s. This would definitely work for them. My daughter could not have watched this. This would probably give her nightmares. She's 10, but she's not really big in anything remotely kind of scary. My wife also probably would have had nightmares. There were some moments where everything got really quiet. I've tried to tell my wife and daughter, if you're watching the movie and it gets really quiet, that means they're coming for a jump scare. The best way to get that loud moment is to make everything super quiet. And there are moments of that. There are some ghosts that are more frightening looking, some that are more, you know, I hate to say cute and cuddly, but not as frightening. So if you liked Afterlife, this one works well enough. Works well enough as a successor. If you did not like Afterlife, this version of Ghostbusters is not for you, sadly. And with that, I am pulling on to my street. And, you know, hopefully you enjoyed me talking in the dark while driving home about a movie. There we go. Fingers showed up. Perfect.